Alright guys, today I'm actually installing the Boonedox landing gear HD. So it actually has the HD brackets on the PA12 360. I'm going to go over all the details for this install, guys. I've already done a big detailed install for the PA14 and reinforcement for that too as well. So this one I'll pretty much just talk on the high points of what's different between the two. Like I said, the main difference between this one and my other video I've already done, this has HD brackets on there. So really it's not that big of a difference for installing to the kayak. You're just going to be adding this instead of the HD units. So you will actually have to bring the knuckle out a tad bit further because of the way this fits on your knuckle. Your hole is now going to be about an inch back. So this will be sticking out a little bit further outside the kayak to allow that wheel system to actually work properly. And of course, a little different layout too for the kayak in the back of the boat because the rear hatch is a different shape and layout structure than the 14-footer is. So starting off, guys, I've already removed my my rail system bolts, so I can show you the other way now. You have to make sure you do your holes for your install, guys. Gonna be right here. You have a actual plastic insert pretty much already in here, so you can't go too far back this way, guys. So you need sure you have enough room to get inside the kayak hole with your actual backing plate. And these things are pretty long too, guys. So you gotta make sure you have enough spots. So this bar is gonna be somewhere right around, about around right here. So almost going to be on top of the two threaded eye pads. So we're right over these two eye pads pretty much. But at least the hook can still be used underneath there easily. So it was not a big deal being right there, guys. But this will actually allow you to do it here. And in case someone did ever want to reinforce this install, guys, they could even install some reinforcement spots right here, or possibly, depending on where this knuckle actually lands at, on the other side. But you're probably only able to do one actually. It's probably gonna be the little small plastic gaskets, and you have to do just a washer and a nut to actually go through there instead of doing a backing plate really securely, unless you did the round backing plate, which is used for the camo PAs, or if you did it for the Outback. All right, guys. So first step is going to be getting your actual metal HD bracket figured out, installing the screws that come with it. So you got a screw, you got a lock washer and a washer, and that will also go into one of these as well. You have to have two of these per knuckle. So feed that through and just kind of get it started, guys. Just a couple threads just so it slides into your actual knuckle itself a little better. So it looks just like that, guys. And this will actually slide inside the knuckle to actually fit it to where you'll figure out how far out you need to go. Alright, guys, so all four of these are done now. I got all four of them attached. So now all I gotta do is put these on the knuckles. And they also send you a little packet of Loctite. Don't use this, guys, until you're finally doing everything else. So go ahead and get this and just kind of do it till it's a nice little dry fit, pretty much. Get it somewhat snug so it fits in there. Then after you get done actually putting your bolts into the kayak, you'll go back, unscrew these again, add a little bit of this Loctite to each one of these screws just so they don't back out on you, because they will back out if you don't do it. I've had it happen to me a few times before I did Loctite, guys, when it first came out. So if you add a little bit of Loctite to the ends of these screws, as you screw them into these little teeth right here, it'll go in and snug in and it'll stay tighter for you, okay, guys? Because if you are on bumpy roads like Louisiana has, all these roads in here in Louisiana are terrible. So all that vibration causes the things to come unscrewed a little bit, and you could lose one of these bolts on the road on the way to the launch somewhere. So a little bit of Loctite, guys, we use very last. Alright guys, so I got all these done, so I'm going to slide them on. Make sure it's nice and flush with the end of this. So I'll just push it up nice and flush. And I'll tighten these down a little bit, just so they're not going to move on me too much. So you can see, guys, nice and flush. Tighten down enough so they're not going to move too much. And now I can actually kind of figure out where it's going to lay at, my width-wise, to tighten up these little screws so it doesn't move on the cross beam at all. And it's a nice, solid fixture. Alright guys, so like I said, this will actually cross over the kayak's width a little bit. So you actually have to have the hole line up with this. So you'll have about an inch sticking out of the kayak. With the HD bracket being where it's to be installed for the PA at least. So just kind of eyeball it where you want it at, guys. Like I said, you want to make sure you have it far enough in front so it's not going to hit inside of the kayak right here. And also make sure you don't have anything inside the or if your holes that will cause the bracket not to go flush too as well. So you gotta kind of play with it a little bit, guys, and you can just kind of eyeball where you want it to be straight at. It's like I need to move that side over this just a tad bit. Alright guys, so we're gonna go all laid out where I want it to go at pretty much. Might do a few little minor tweaks to it once I get everything going. But what I did, guys, actually I measured from here to the center of each of these holes. It's about 4.5 inches. So from center of this hole on the actual bracket itself to the actual center of the hole for the H rail, it's about 4.5 inches. From here, you can play with that length if you want to, 4 inches to 5 inches, a little bit as much as you want, guys. But for me, I'm gonna do about 4.5 inches for this customer, and got both of them laid out so it's a nice straight fit. Like I said, if he wants to reinforce it later on, he can by either adding something right here on the back side or something on this side of the seat as well for reinforcements. But this guy's a pretty minimalist. He doesn't bring a lot of stuff with him, so he might not need any backing plates for it really, because he doesn't bring a whole lot of gear, like I do at least. So, but everything's laid out, guys. Now all I gotta do is go pop my holes in, and you can find all the rest of the install stuff I did, same as the 14 on the other video, guys. But I'll go back over a few minor touches, anything I might have changed or that was different from the 14 to the 12 at least for you. If I have any other thing that's gonna be different, but everything else should lay out pretty much the same besides the bracket itself here. And of course, like I said, being as a different kind of layout for the back structure of the PA14 over the 12. All right guys, one good thing about the 12 footer over the 14 is you can actually reach, well, I got long arms anyway, I can reach the 14 a little bit, but you can actually reach a lot better because it's a lot closer to the back of the rear hatch. By putting your arms in there and filling in there and at least getting that plate started. I still do the little wire trick, guys, on the far side to pull it up, hold it up, and have a second person come in here, and I'll also get the screw started from at least to get that going. So it worked out pretty well, guys. Got it in there at least for roughly fitted, so these are both in there and on the backing plate already. So all I gotta do is tighten those up and add some silicone around the bottom of them once I get everything finalized. Like I mentioned a while ago, guys, I had these both nice and flush with the end. But for the back one, which is closer to the back of the kayak, I'll have to actually move this one over a little bit this way to allow this knuckle to turn in some more. Because you can see right here, it's kind of facing that angle pretty good right there. So I'm going to have to undo these screws right here, guys. So I can slide those right there and get that thing nice and flush and straight to where I want it to be at. Just kind of eyeball it, guys, where you want it at. Alright guys, so all 4 screws are now at least started. I didn't actually do them all the way tight or nothing yet, because before I do that, I'll actually go back around and add some silicone underneath here, around here, keep them watertight. But like I said, they're all at least started, all 4 on both, 2 on both sides are all started. So I'll do the silicone next, tighten those down real good, and of course the last thing I'll do is I'll undo these one at a time, do a little bit of Loctite on there and put them back in there and tighten down nice and snug for the customer. Just allow that so they won't rattle loose, especially on our Louisiana back roads we have around here, because they're terrible roads. But guys, remember, as I mentioned, you're just gonna take off one of these at a time. So just remove one screw at a time, nice and slow too, guys, so it doesn't move that little T-bolt behind you anywhere around. Nice and slow. Get your Loctite. Just do a few little drops on the last few threads. Alright guys, so once you finish that, guys, do the exact same thing to the other 7 screws as well. Alright guys, so that's the whole install for the PA12. Not too bad. Like I said, it was a little different from the 14, but not much. Main difference is going to be if you want to do the reinforcement for the 12. But as you can see, guys, but guys, that's pretty much the install for this kayak. Like I said, if you need some more details on how everything we actually ran through here, you can check my other video out, the PA14 install / reinforcement, and I'll link that on the screen somewhere on one of these sides here in a second up top for you, so you can always check that out right there, guys.